Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. And this is another paid request for Frame by Frame. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. PayPal is usually the best way to do it. And yeah, I'll get to it as soon as possible. But the Penguin. I was going to say season 1. I mean, it's the only season so far, but episode 5. Which, I have not minded any of these episodes so far. I've been really enjoying the show. I like Colin Farrell. He completely disappears into the role. I also appreciate the actress that plays Sophia. It's cool to have people like Clancy Brown in the TV show. I even don't mind the actor that plays Victor. So some very cool stuff there. Also, I didn't realize, I mentioned this the last one, episode 4 review, that both of these episodes, 4 and 5, Helen Shaver directed it, she's an actress who was in Tremors 2 Aftershocks. She was in The Believers with Martin Sheen and among other films. I think she was in the original The Amityville Horror. So it was, oh wow, she's directing nowadays, and apparently directed a lot of stuff in TV work, these 2 episodes included. Now this one I didn't mind either. In particular, one moment which definitely cements more of how brutal Oz can be. But it's one of those that it definitely feels as if, this stuff we have to build things up to the finale, because it's only an 8-episode season. So it felt more of putting the pieces together. We got to put the pieces here and there, like a chessboard, get them set up before the game really begins in the later episodes. So Victor and Oz, they escape from Clancy Brown's wife and Sophia and them. Victor got Penguin out of there, aka Oz. So Victor, his job is to get Oz's mom and get her in a safe place. And she kind of keeps asking Victor about, well, if Oz is this, how come I gotta be here in this shithole? What's going on here? So while he's doing that, Oz is getting some goons together. Him and the goons are going to try to get this product that they're going to sell for drugs, which deals with these mushrooms. But Clancy Brown's wife, that family, the Salvatore family, have it. Says, well, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to kidnap one of the kids. We're going to kidnap the kid, and they pretty much go into a tattoo place and shoot it up while he's listening to headphones, not paying attention to anything. So they take him, and Colin Farrell goes up and says, listen, Clancy Brown, your wife, here's the exchange. Either I get those drugs, that supply, you can have them back, otherwise things are going to go up shit creek without a paddle. The exchange happens, but there's some shenanigans going on, and it results in, spoiler alert, Colin Farrell getting a lighter and burning the mom and son up. And when I say son, I mean he's, I don't know, 20s, mid-20s, 30s. Although, can you imagine how fucked up it would be if it was like a little kid and he still burned him up? Granted, they probably wouldn't get away with that. If it was a Hong Kong show, it would, because, I mean, or a Hong Kong movie, they love killing kids over there in those movies, but, or those Category 3 movies. But here, no, he does burn the mom and the son, which is, pretty brutal, pretty damn brutal on the stuff. He hires someone to try to kill Clancy Brown, but he gets stabbed, but it doesn't work. He's still alive. I do like the bit where he calls Oz, like, you think you kill me? And Oz, in return, says, how about you try calling your wife? which is such a brutal burn, because we know what's happened, and we know that if he tries, he ain't going to get an answer. At least not the answer he wants. We also have Sophia, that now she's gassed most of her family. The people that are left, she explains, listen, this is a new family, and I'm actually going to care about you, and here's the money. Come take the piece if you want. Go ahead. But we don't run this like an actual family. I just kind of like the mafia, you know. The old school mafia. I give an offer you won't refuse. And then Sophia goes to Clancy Brown and says, listen, your war was with that family. I'm not them. My war is with Oz. Your war now is with Oz. He killed my brother. He also killed your wife and son. Let's work together. Seemed like this was going to happen. And then you get this, it's kind of this weird conflicted note where, like, Oz has this, like, charming capability that you in a weird way, you kind of like him. But the same, in the back of your head, I know that he's playing all of us for a fool. Because, like, he plays all the other characters for a fool. And he doesn't really care about you. It's just what he could do to further his status, further his life, how you want to put it. So with that said, it's, yeah, like, who do I root for? Do I root for the Penguin to win, or do I root for Clancy Brown and Sophia to win? Because I love Clancy Brown. Sophia, to be fair, she was an innocent that went to jail, was shot, treated like shit in an asylum. She killed someone, an asylum patient, which they were there for a reason. Like Magpie was. And then the people she killed were the people that screwed her over, betrayed her, no one helped her, left her to rot in an asylum, and they were all criminals on themselves. So, I mean, it's not like she's killed an innocent person yet, as far as I can think of. But then Oz, like, he's very charismatic and fun, and at times funny to watch. So it's like, who should win? And yes, there's always that part of me in the back of my mind wondering, where is the Batman? Where is the Batman? Granted, people have mentioned, well, yeah, I remember the Batman was probably hurt. Eddie's trying to work up his health. Someone also mentions that I remember the Batman, his family he kind of found out that even his family name wasn't as clean as he thought it was, and that maybe he could use his status as Bruce Wayne and the money he has as Bruce Wayne to help out in certain ways, in certain factions. It would be nice to see Batman on the show. It would, even if it was in small portions. Or even like a snippet on the news, like there's a sighting or something, but some kind of sighting. They'll probably have some kind of... He won't be in the show, but I'm sure they'll have a reference in the last episode. I would bet money. Something. Maybe like a news on TV or something like that. And who knows if we'll get a Batman 2. With the way James Gunn is running things there. That, oh, there's not even a completed script yet. When did the Batman come out? I like that film. That's the thing I'm pissed about. I actually liked that movie. 2022. It's been 2 years. And there's not even a finished script. I would like that film to be made. I would like to see more of that. It's one of the few movies I would look forward to, but the reason I don't say when people ask, what do you look forward to? Because I don't know if it'll be made. Because we're pretty much 2025. It seems like one of those things that they'll keep pushing back and pushing back and pushing back. And then, like, if it comes out and it's going to be, let's say they finish the script in 2025, then it'll be for 2027 or 2028 release. Let's say they worked on this. Let's say they finished the script. Then they gotta get casting. They gotta get pre-production, production, post-production. So they're working on the script in 2025. They start pre-production later 2025. They start filming, and the earliest would be what, 2026, and that's being kind on it. Whether the same February, March of 2026 or the summer of 2026, which I think would help better with the box office if that, because I don't think that was a summer release, that film. And it's running time. Like, you gotta slim down the running time. As much as I really like the Batman, it did not need to be 3 hours long. I think if you slim down the time, maybe 2 hours and 20 minutes if it has to be long. You slim down the running time, add a bit more action fight sequences. Don't use the Joker already. There's plenty of other villains he has that could be interesting. We don't need to see another Joker because it's going to be compared to Heath Ledger, let alone Jack Nicholson. It's going to not rise to the cream of the crop. It's not, because those are hard to overcome. Get like a Mr. Freeze or someone else. Maybe even someone more obscure if you need to. But anyway. At the end of this episode, pretty much Oz and the younger kid Victor, they find an underground section that Oz do, where there's like old underground tunnels, and this is going to be their new base to raise these drugs, which are these mushrooms, and then find a new base of operations. Like, again, Colin Farrell does a fantastic job, and like I said, I liked the episode, but you could tell, not in a bad way, but it's just, we got piece things together to set up for the rest of it. It's a lot of that. We got piece up where the mom's going to be. We got piece up that where Sophia's now going to be, worked with Clancy Brown, and it makes sense. Like, the gradual baby steps. Again, I would say that the part that was the most, probably the, I guess my favorite part, as weird as it'll sound, is when the whole exchange happens. There's a bit of gunfire, and then he kills the mom and the son with fire. That wants to remind the audience just he could be a brutal guy. He could be a very violent guy. It's just that the stuff with Victor and the mom wasn't really the most interesting. The mom character, even that kind of reminds me of The Sopranos, where you had Tony and his mom, only that felt a lot more friction. Here, there's only a little bit of friction, but you tell there's maybe a bit of love there. Well, and Sopranos was a lot more friction and not much love, but in a way that made it a bit more interesting to see what was going to happen next. Here, it's okay, yeah, he's a mama's boy, he cares for his mom, blah, blah, blah. Like Victor, it's like he can't really say a whole lot to the mother, either trying to make excuses for Oz or something to that effect. And I don't know, just something about that wasn't as interesting as maybe it. I don't know if you could make it interesting. Just compared to other parts of the show, I might. It's the stuff I was just the least intrigued by. I don't know how else to put it. As for the Sophia and Clancy Brown getting together, I mean, they're not going to win because it's called the Penguin, And because you know there's going to be, well, you're hoping that there'll be a sequel to the Batman, and more than likely that's the case. Penguin will be in some way, some form. So they're not going to, again, they're not going to defeat the Penguin and make him a wuss in his show, because then if he's a wuss on his own show, why would the Batman have any care or threat to this guy? So that means you, in a bit, know where it's going. That this has to end with him being the teen of crime, the boss. So you're just waiting to see how Oz turns the tables on Sophia and Clancy now that they're working together. So I guess that'll be the interesting hook on how he does that. But with that said, it was cool to see more Colin Farrell compared to the episode 4. I was going to say at first when I started that, I was going to say I liked this less than part 4. But yeah, it's still nice to see Colin Farrell in there doing his thing. And he's definitely, of course, the highlight of the show. So that kind of evens out, the bits with Victor and the Oz's mom and... just compared to other episodes, it wasn't as memorable. Other than that one bit I mentioned with the fire. Just something about it was lacking. I can't put my finger on it. But I'm still enjoying the show. I'm still liking what it's showcasing. Still, it's a good show so far. Still a good show. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.